Have you ever noticed, dear friends, that the way we feel about things, about people, changes as we journey through life? It's a subtle shift, like the fading light of a late afternoon, especially when it comes to relationships, particularly the long-standing ones like marriage. You know, after 60, after the kids are grown, after the house is quiet, and after decades of shared experiences, something shifts. It's not always dramatic, not a sudden storm, but more like a gentle, persistent breeze that changes the direction of the sails. And sometimes that breeze carries a feeling that's a little less warm, a little less affectionate, towards the very man you've shared so much of your life with. Now, this isn't about blame or judgment, it's about understanding. It's about recognizing that life changes us, and those changes can affect our deepest connections. We're here today to talk about something that many women experience but often don't talk about. That quiet shift in love, that feeling of less affection for their husbands after 60. We're going to explore why this happens and, more importantly, what we can do about it. Because even in the twilight of our lives, we deserve to feel fulfilled and loved. Let's start with one of the most significant factors, the accumulation of unresolved issues. You know, over the decades, little things build up. A forgotten anniversary, a careless remark, a pattern of not feeling heard. These might seem small on their own, like tiny drops of water, but over time, they fill the bucket, and eventually it overflows. And often, women are the ones who carry the weight of these emotional burdens. We tend to remember, to analyze, to feel deeply. We remember the promises made, the expectations unmet, and the times we felt overlooked. It's not about being petty, it's about the emotional landscape of a long-term relationship. Imagine you've been tending a garden for 40 years, and you've pulled weeds, watered the flowers, and pruned the bushes. But some weeds you just couldn't get to. They grew. After a while, they become a part of the landscape, and it's hard to see the beauty of the garden through them. Another key factor is the change in roles and expectations. When we were younger, our lives were often defined by our roles as wives, mothers, and homemakers. But as we age, those roles change. The kids are gone, the house is quieter, and we have more time to reflect on our own needs and desires. We begin to ask ourselves, who am I now? And sometimes the answer is, I'm not the person I was when I got married. We've grown, we've changed, and sometimes our husbands haven't kept pace. This isn't about blaming them either. It's about recognizing that relationships are dynamic and they require constant nurturing and adaptation. It's like a dance. If one partner stops moving, the other one feels the imbalance. And then there's the physical changes. Hormonal shifts, the natural aging process, changes in our energy levels and desires, these all play a role. For many women, menopause brings about significant changes that can affect their mood, their libido, and their overall sense of well-being. And sometimes these changes create a distance, a sense of disconnect that wasn't there before. It's not about losing attraction, but rather about a shift in the way we experience intimacy. It's as if the music has changed and we're trying to find a new rhythm. These are just a few of the reasons why that quiet shift happens, and understanding these reasons is the first step towards finding a way forward. Now that we've started to explore the accumulation of unresolved issues, the change in roles, and the physical shifts, let's move on to how these experiences deeply affect our emotional connection. So, we've touched on the buildup of unresolved issues, the shifting roles, and the physical changes that can contribute to this quiet shift in affection. But let's really look into how these factors weave into the emotional fabric of our relationships. One of the most profound impacts is the feeling of emotional neglect. It's not always about grand gestures or dramatic arguments. Often, it's the small, daily moments where we feel unseen, unheard, and unappreciated. Imagine you've prepared a lovely dinner, something you know your husband enjoys, and he barely looks up from his newspaper. Or you share a story about something that's important to you, and he responds with a distracted, uh-huh. These moments, seemingly insignificant, accumulate over time, creating a sense of emotional distance. It's like trying to have a conversation with someone who's looking out a window. You know they're there, but they're not truly present. This emotional neglect can lead to feelings of resentment and isolation. We start to feel like our needs don't matter, like our feelings are dismissed, And when that happens, the warmth of affection begins to cool. It's not that we stop caring, but rather that we start to protect ourselves. We build emotional walls to shield ourselves from further hurt, and those walls, while necessary for self-preservation, create a barrier between us and our partners. It's like trying to keep a fire burning in a draft. It takes constant effort, and sometimes the flame just flickers out. Another crucial aspect is the lack of shared growth and change. Over the years, we all evolve. We learn, we grow, we discover new passions and interests, but sometimes couples don't evolve together. One partner might remain stagnant, clinging to old habits and routines, while the other is eager to explore new horizons. This disparity can create a sense of disconnect, a feeling that we're living parallel lives rather than intertwined ones. It's like two trees growing side by side, but their roots never intertwine. They share the same soil, but they don't share the same nourishment. And let's not forget the impact of societal expectations and the invisible labor that women often carry. We're often expected to be the caregivers, the nurturers, the emotional anchors of the family. Even as we age, these expectations persist. We're expected to maintain the home, to care for our husbands, to be the peacemakers. And sometimes, this constant giving leaves us feeling depleted and resentful. We start to feel like our own needs are secondary, like we're always putting everyone else first. It's like being a well that's constantly drawn from but never replenished. Eventually, the well runs dry. This sense of being taken for granted, of not being seen as a whole person with our own needs and desires, can erode affection. It's not about wanting to be pampered or spoiled, it's about wanting to be acknowledged, appreciated, and respected. It's about wanting to feel like our contributions matter, like our voices are heard. Now that we've covered the emotional neglect, the lack of shared growth, and the societal pressures, let's move on to how we can address these challenges and find a way to rekindle the spark of affection. So, we've explored the complexities of the quiet shift in love after 60. We've talked about the accumulation of unresolved issues, the changing roles and expectations, the physical changes, and the emotional impact of these factors. Now, let's shift our focus to the positive. How can we address these challenges and reignite the spark of affection in our relationships? One of the most powerful tools is communication. It's not always easy to talk about our feelings, especially when they're complex and nuanced. But open and honest communication is essential for building intimacy and understanding. We need to create a safe space where we can share our thoughts, our fears, and our desires without judgment or defensiveness. We need to listen to each other with empathy and respect, truly trying to understand each other's perspectives. This doesn't mean having big, dramatic conversations every day. It can be as simple as a few minutes each day sharing your thoughts and feelings about your day. It can be about acknowledging each other's contributions, both big and small. It can be about expressing gratitude for your partner's presence in your life. Another crucial aspect is to prioritize intimacy, not just physical intimacy, but emotional intimacy as well. This means making time for each other, even if it's just for a few minutes each day. It means putting away the distractions, like phones and televisions, and truly connecting with each other. It means holding hands, cuddling, and sharing a quiet moment together. Remember, intimacy isn't just about what happens in the bedroom. It's about feeling seen, heard, and understood. It's about feeling connected on a deep, emotional level. Finally, we need to nurture ourselves. We can't pour from an empty cup. We need to take care of our own physical and emotional well-being. This means making time for activities that bring us joy, whether it's reading, gardening, or spending time with friends. It means prioritizing our health and well-being, eating nutritious foods, and getting enough sleep. When we feel good about ourselves, we're better able to connect with our partners and bring our best selves to the relationship. Remember, relationships are a journey, not a destination. They require constant effort, nurturing, and growth. There will be ups and downs, challenges and triumphs, but by communicating openly, prioritizing intimacy, and nurturing ourselves, we can navigate the quiet shifts in love and continue to build a strong and fulfilling relationship as we age. So, let's raise a glass to the journey of love. Let's celebrate the beauty of enduring relationships and the resilience of the human spirit. Here's to navigating the quiet shifts, to finding new ways to connect, and to creating a love that lasts a lifetime. If you found this video helpful, please like and share it with your friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more tips and insights on aging gracefully and living a fulfilling life. Thank you for watching, and remember, you're never too old to love and be loved. Now that we've explored the underlying reasons why some women may feel less affection for their husbands after 60, let's dive into some practical advice for navigating these challenges and strengthening your bond. One of the simplest yet most effective strategies is to schedule regular date nights. I know, it might sound a bit old-fashioned, but trust me, it works wonders. Carve out dedicated time for just the two of you, free from distractions and responsibilities. It could be a fancy dinner, a walk in the park, a movie night at home, anything that allows you to reconnect and enjoy each other's company. The key is to make it a consistent part of your routine, something to look forward to and cherish. Many people ask where to start, so let's look at the simplest approach. Start small. Maybe it's just 30 minutes every Tuesday evening where you put away your phones and have a cup of tea together, sharing your thoughts and feelings. Or perhaps it's a weekly walk around the neighborhood, hand in hand, enjoying the fresh air and each other's company. The important thing is to make the time and prioritize connection. Another valuable tip is to rediscover shared interests. What did you enjoy doing together when you first met? Was it dancing, hiking, playing board games? Rekindling those shared passions can bring you closer together and remind you of the joy you once shared. And don't be afraid to try new things together. Taking a cooking class, joining a book club, or learning a new language can be a fun and exciting way to grow together. It's also crucial to express gratitude and appreciation for each other. Take the time to acknowledge your partner's contributions, both big and small. A simple thank you for taking out the trash, a heartfelt compliment on their cooking, or a loving gesture of appreciation can go a long way in strengthening your bond. Now, let's address some frequently asked questions. Many women worry that feeling less affectionate means their love is fading. It's important to remember that love evolves over time. It's not always a constant burning flame. Sometimes it's a gentle simmer, a quiet understanding, a deep and abiding respect. Another common concern is how to broach these sensitive topics with your husband. Start by choosing a calm and relaxed moment. Avoid accusatory language and focus on expressing your feelings honestly and openly. Use I statements to communicate your needs and concerns without blaming or criticizing. For example, instead of saying, "You never listen to me," try saying, "I feel unheard when I share my thoughts and feelings." Remember, communication is key. Be patient, be understanding, and be willing to listen to your partner's perspective as well. If you're struggling to navigate these challenges on your own, consider seeking professional help. A therapist or counselor can provide a safe and supportive space to explore your feelings and develop healthy communication strategies. Now that we have covered these crucial aspects, let's wrap things up and reinforce the importance of nurturing your relationship, even in the quiet moments. Remember, the journey of love is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires consistent effort, open communication, and a willingness to grow and adapt together. By implementing these strategies, you can navigate the quiet shifts in love and nurture a relationship that continues to bring you joy and fulfillment in the golden years. If you found this video helpful, please like and share it to help more people discover these tips. And if you have any questions or experiences you'd like to share, please leave a comment below. We'd love to hear from you. For your first step, I encourage you to schedule a dedicated 15 minutes tomorrow to spend with your husband. Put away your phones, find a comfortable spot, and simply talk. Share your day, listen to his, and reconnect. It might seem small, but it's a powerful first step towards strengthening your bond. In the next video, we'll explore the importance of physical activity for seniors and how it can significantly impact your overall health and well-being. Stay tuned. Remember, age is just a number, and your health and happiness depend on the habits you build daily. Embrace this chapter of your life with grace, gratitude, and a spirit of adventure. Here's to living your best life together.